In this video, I want to discuss the assets and liabilities area. If I click this icon, this screen comes up. If this is not relevant to your business, don't use it. But it is useful if you actually want to record somewhere. Just have a recording so you can print it at the end of the year what your assets are or what your liabilities are, because for all intents and purposes, this program controls for income tax or for running costs of a business, money coming in, daily expenses and daily income. It doesn't record assets and liabilities. I mean, that's irrelevant over a whole to income tax. But it's not relevant over a whole to what the company's worth or what you actually have that you actually owe versus your assets. So at the end of the year, if you're going for a loan or something, and the accountant might need these sorts of figures here to put together some sort of statement so that you can go for a loan, and they can say, well, this is what the company, this is what you hold in assets, this is what you hold in liabilities, and obviously all your income and expenses produces a different sort of report. So this is useful for a whole range of areas, but obviously it's not useful for everyone. If you want to record assets and liabilities, great, record it on this screen here. It's the information here, it's all self-explanatory. I'm not going to go into it, but if you look down the bottom here, if you look here, see it says assets. If I click liabilities, it changes. So it just shows you the opposite side of the account. So obviously you list all your assets in here. You might have an assets here. So if I create a category here, and I might create that as motor vehicle. So I might have a motor vehicle as an asset. So I'm going to don't know what happened a minute ago. It didn't give me that. So I have motor vehicle as an asset. But see how I've only see 2 there, but at the top here, we have 3 here, because I can change that from an asset to a liability heading. So that's a liability. So we only see that when I click liabilities. That's when we see that loan. So that's what that's for. So I might put in that I have this car and it's worth $20,000. So naturally, at the end of the year, you might be able to claim some of that as a depreciable item. Now, there is an area within Easy As that as you purchase materials in the year you purchase it, that you can record that as a capital expense. The reason you record it here as a capital expense is any amount that you enter here on the date you purchase it, that is got sales tax included, is normally accrued in the year the sales tax was added. So naturally you need that to be recorded, but that's not an expense. It doesn't show up in any other report but a capital expenditure report, and that will only appear in the year you purchased it. So you might also need to include that in consecutive years as an asset and liability for the year. So you want to put in what your current value is worth of the motor vehicle. So next year the motor vehicle may be worth only $18,000 because it's depreciated. So you want to adjust and record that in the following year as $18,000. So obviously there's a little bit of work here to maintain this sort of an area, but it is useful for those people who use it. So you've got your assets and liabilities. I don't think I need to explain how this is. You've seen how this works. You can assign a category and give it an asset or liability heading, and the report that it generates is listed as assets and liabilities. So if you have lots of assets, this is going to scroll down the screen, but when you print the report, it will print the appropriate number of pages necessary to view that. So if I print this report right now, you will see that there we go. It lists the assets, stock, there isn't any. So it will provide every single heading that you have or every single category under that, and it will provide whatever the amount is. So I think that that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to go any more into this.